In this series, every episode, we meet a number of people within the deaf community, fans, players, staff members that work in clubs.
There's one community that is majorly underrepresented, and that is the deafblind. We're meeting with Glen Tamayo, and he's going to discuss about his experience as a deafblind gentleman and an avid Spurs fan. He's going to tell us what it's like to travel and watch football matches.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
So talk to us about your experience growing up as a deaf-blind person. What was that like?
I'm deaf and blind. So when I was younger, it was only until I was 13 that I was diagnosed, and I had problems with my sight. And then, when I was 13, I was diagnosed. I was trying to figure out what was wrong with my sight and had no idea what was wrong. Then eventually, when I was 17, then I actually fully understood what I was diagnosed with at 13. I'd met people and they were telling me their different stories, and then I realized what was going on, that I had Usher syndrome. And then I accepted who I am, that I am deaf and blind.
You mentioned when you were 13, that's when you first noticed the Ushers and the sight issues. How did you actually feel then?
I felt a bit confused. I wasn't sure about what was going on with my sight. So I was trying to figure things out, and I was quite, emotionally all over the place, and it was quite difficult to accept it. I felt quite stressed about things, nervous. But I needed to accept it in a positive way. So going to watch football matches has helped with that. Flying to different countries to watch football matches has helped with that. And I started to develop a real positive mindset, and now I just kind of feel proactive in showing that I am deaf and blind, but I'm proud of that, and I'm accepting who I am.
You love football. Has that been all your life?
I love football, yes.
Who do you support?
Spurs?
Yeah!
Come on, Spurs, come on.
How does it affect you then with watching football? Obviously, when you were younger, you'd have been able to see more, but what about now?
Yeah, so on match days, when I'm really close to the pitch, it's actually really difficult for me to see all the action. So I prefer being further back, so then I can see the whole pitch. I can see all the movements of the players. So it's really important for me just to be able to be set back from the pitch. And when players are passing the ball around, it can be difficult to see where the ball's being passed if I'm too close to the action. So being set back from the action is really helpful.
So do you watch football regularly, or is it just as and when? Do you go to the stadium?
No, regularly. I go to stadiums all the time. I love traveling as well. Away days, home games, I go to both, love it.
So when you go to matches, are they with PAs?
Yeah, so my PA is also my friend. So my friend will come with me, who's also my PA, and we go to match days together. And he'll communicate with me about what's going on the pitch. So if there's a yellow card, for example, if there's a goal or a substitution, and I can't see who it is, I might ask my PA, what's going on? Can you tell me? And they'll translate for me.
So do your friends know how best to support a deaf-blind person? Are they good communicators with you? How do you get on with them? Because obviously deaf people love to be quite visual, and it can be quite difficult sometimes if they move out of your visual frame, so...
Yeah, so my close friendship circle, I really, really appreciate them. They're the ones that support me, and they're the ones that have an awareness and understanding of what it's like to have Usher syndrome. So with those it's quite easy, but with those that aren't aware, it can be quite difficult because they're too close to me, and I have to ask them, do you mind just standing back a bit so I can see? And if they're signing really, really fast, I have to then say, sorry, can you repeat that? And I can see that some people get frustrated with that, and that can damage their confidence or my confidence.
Can I ask one more question? So your stick, have you used that all your life, or was that a recent addition?
Recent. Before that, I never used the cane. I thought I could get on with it on my own, but then I realized that people would bump into me, and other people would get frustrated with that. And I'm really thankful to my friends, because they were the ones that kind of convinced me to get the cane. And since, I wasn't sure initially, but since getting the cane, it's really boosted my confidence, and people are aware that I'm deaf and blind when I'm out and about, and that's really helpful.
So you've given a name to your stick, haven't you? Tell me that.
Ange ball. Look, I've got a ball attached to the end. But before it was, before when I had one without a ball, guess what I called that? Kane. Kane with a K, and then Kane with a C.
I like that.
Yeah, I really like that too. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I've really enjoyed chatting with you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Come on, Spurs next season. Fingers crossed, Glenn.
Fingers crossed.
Wow, that interview was really impactful to me, things that I'd never thought about. Also, deaf awareness really does need to include deaf-blind people.